Devin Booker, KD, and Bismack Biyombo have played great defensively in this series. So let's break down what exactly they are doing on that end of the court. Starting with Booker, he has become a pretty solid defender over the last couple seasons. Watch how he perfectly forces Leonard baseline, and Torrey Craig being there as a help defender definitely helped, but Booker was the one that cut Kawhi's driving angle off. And here watch how Booker slides over to force a tough shot on Bones Highland. And this effort is exactly why he has improved so much on defense. These are the plays that contribute to winning a lot of games, and he has played this way defensively all season long. And most scoring guards, like Booker, would have even bothered to give maximum effort in this situation defensively. And the shooter missing the shot was the icing on the cake for this possession. On this possession, Booker perfectly plays the passing lanes. And yes, this was overall a really bad and risky pass by Terrence, but Booker still made an athletic defensive play that led to a turnover. When he plays with this level of tenacity, he can defend three positions, and his underrated defensive IQ makes him a really good team defender. I think he's slowly turning into a two-way guard, but I wouldn't go that far yet. But if he continues to play great defense throughout this series and beyond, we might have to start labeling him as such. Now let's analyze Durant's defense. Durant is averaging just shy of 1.5 blocks per game, so he was one of the better shot blockers this season, and on this possession, he shows his borderline elite ability as a help side defender by swatting Gordon's shot away. And this is where the trade really pays off for Phoenix on defense. They now have another quality shot blocker in the paint, something they didn't have before the trade. Even though the Clippers scored on this possession from a Norman Powell layup, watch how KD, who's 7 foot, defends Russell Westbrook one-on-one, and Russ is a difficult player to defend out in space, especially for bigs. But as we've seen all year long, KD shows just how versatile of a defender he really is, and these type of defensive possessions won't show up in the box score, nor will it be talked about post-game. But it's still extremely impressive. Here he perfectly slides into the gap after Russ gets inside, then he absorbs the contact, and uses those long arms to force a tough shot. On this possession, I'm not really sure who came away with the block, but this just shows Booker's hustle and more Durant's help side defensive activity, and this stop quickly turns into a fast break layup, which was generated by Durant and Booker. Now let's focus on Biyombo. Here he shows his underrated versatility by defending superstar Kawhi Leonard. Notice how physical he plays Kawhi before he even touches the basketball, and then he sits down in the chair and moves his feet well with his hands out wide in the passing lanes. And his ability to move his feet while being disruptive with his length forced Kawhi to kick out the ball, which eventually led to Kevin Durant's block we saw earlier. And here he shows great hustle by tracking down and blocking Norman Powell's layup, and Biyombo is actually one of the best rim protectors in all of basketball this season, and while he isn't ever really compared to defenders like Rudy Gobert, Jackson Jr., Anthony Davis, Brook Lopez, or other popular rim protectors, he's still just as elite as those guys when it comes to protecting the paint. And again, he showcases his versatility by defending Russ one-on-one without any help defense. And I'm going to say it again, Biyombo is just an extremely underrated defender. And I'm not saying he will ever win a Defensive Player of the Year award, but he definitely doesn't get the respect he deserves as a quality rim protector who's also mobile enough to defend smaller players. But that'll be all for today's video. I just wanted to briefly bring attention to these three for their great defense in this series. If you want more defensive breakdowns, make sure to like the video and consider subscribing for more NBA defensive content.